I'm Quincy, and I know style. As an entertainer, I see what makes the style world go round. Lately, I've noticed NASCAR in that world. How did NASCAR style go from niche market to retro renaissance to the pop culture mainstay it is today? Join me on a journey as I explore NASCAR's rise in the style game. To find out how NASCAR went from vintage to Vogue. The racetrack showcases NASCAR's diverse style. Bright colors, big logos, bold designs. Quality synonymous with NASCAR culture. To understand why, we need to understand history. NASCAR's rise to style relevance is rooted in the past. At Darlington Raceway's Throwback Weekend, history and style collide. As race fans and drivers celebrate vintage vibes with a hands-on approach.
It's almost like the Kentucky Derby of racing. Everybody gets all dressed up and stuff. I actually based my look off of one of the old 60s beer girls, Linda Vaughn.
The older drivers that had so much style has become kind of like almost a fashion statement.
It's a style, it's a lifestyle, honestly.
My mom was a huge Tim Richmond fan for whatever reasons. This is my son, and he gave me my shirt. I like it. It's bright and fun.
And it kind of reminds me of skiing in that you can show up at the mountain, you can wear the most ridiculous imaginable. And people are just like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, this is great. And, you know, NASCAR feels the same way.
It's really cool that in this day and age, in a way, nothing matters fashion-wise.
The borders are lifted. Like, there are no more walls. Everything is cool today.
The vintage shirt craze around at NASCAR has played such a role in fashion lately.
Demi Lovato in this super hot Danica Patrick crop top. Now, I don't know if Demi Lovato is a racing fan, but who cares? She looks hot.
Vintage NASCAR t-shirts have skyrocketed. It's as cool as wearing Louis Vuitton, Chanel even.
People care less these days generally about what the person is doing and more about the story. They don't necessarily need to know everything about the sport in order to say that, hey, I like the idea of putting my life on the line for a sport that I love.
Go to any flea market on Saturday and Sunday in LA. I don't think anyone's thinking, I'm gonna wear this from this old racing series that used to be about bootlegging and outrunning the cops during Prohibition. No one's thinking about that. They're just thinking, it looks super cool and it feels good on me and I feel good wearing it. Therefore, I'm gonna wear it.
Few cities can match LA's style. And few streets drive fashion, quite like Melrose Avenue. That's where I go to find out why the vintage movement is so big. Why are clothes that are 30 years old not only relevant, but fashionable? There's only one place to find that answer. Round 2, vintage.
So, we at Round 2, actually one of my favorite places to shop. And I noticed it's like NASCAR's got this big flashy, this is who we are.
Yeah.
How do you think that became such a staple and they didn't have to change anything?
Well, you know, I think NASCAR is in a unique position where they're working with athletes, but they're also working with sponsors, you know? So something like a Tide logo or a DuPont Racing logo, like if those logos aren't changing, then the use of them as it pertains to the sport or to a garment for NASCAR doesn't need to change, you know?
It's infinity.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and at least in the vintage world now, looking back, NASCAR tees are so relevant because of their aesthetic, because of the big prints, the bold colors, the very visible sponsors. You know, like NASCAR tees are a vibe, and that's why they haven't changed, because they've aged well as fashion has changed around us.
Now, something like this, obviously, this says $120. I see some say 100. Is that condition? Is that year? Is that driver?
Condition definitely plays in. Obviously, like anything Earnhardt, anything Petty.
Yeah.
There was a lot of just crazy graphic tees printed for Dale in the 90s that are just forever going to be valuable and collectible. Like, this thing's crazy.
Like, look at the large print. Like, that's a bold thing to do.
It is.
Dale Earnhardt was actually like the anti-fashion icon, did not care about anything, with the mustache rolling up, like looking like he'd just got in a fight after hopping out of his car. And that's what made it so cool, was the authenticity. And I think NASCAR drivers have never tried to be anything that they weren't. And while it might not have been cool to certain sectors at certain moments in time, that authenticity has bled through and what's made it such an iconic brand and something that's so monumental when you walk in a store like Round 2 today and see NASCAR jackets adorning the walls next to the biggest artists in music history.
Like this right here, this Dale Earnhardt jacket, like for me, even if I didn't know who he was, I'm such a fan, but I would cop it.
You would gravitate towards it.
Yeah, see, this screams vintage to me.
Yeah, dude.
You know, more than anything. And of course, we can't talk about Dale without talking about Jeff. What I like about the Gordon one is definitely the hints of colors everywhere. I love when, you know, things are bold, but yet yellow collar, you know. These things go, man.
Yeah,
right?
Always.
If you see it, get it. Don't wait on it.
Yeah, like, dude, we get a good embroidered NASCAR jacket, it's as good as sold.
There we go.
The NASCAR jacket is a pretty iconic piece to the fashion world, to the fashion lexicon.
I think we could even say the whole NASCAR jacket craze is probably in its third phase. You have the first phase, which was
more of the mid to late 90s. Rappers were some of the first to wear a NASCAR jacket.
Then in 2008, Pharrell wears this Jeff Gordon jacket to a party, and it's everywhere.
To have one of the most revered, stylish men in the world in a NASCAR jacket, it was almost like the ultimate cosign.
And then in 2017, 2018, you start to see like Kaya Gerber, Rihanna, Russell Westbrook.
Just to see some of the biggest names in pop culture in a paparazzi photo, it kind of speaks to the ubiquity of the jacket. It's like you don't have to be a fan of NASCAR to really appreciate the craftsmanship of the jacket.
The driver jacket leads NASCAR's charge into the style space. And for over 30 years, JH Design has delivered this iconic style piece to the masses. I head straight to the source to see firsthand what makes these jackets such a big deal.
You made it. Welcome. Welcome to JH Design.
Thank you. I heard this is where it all goes down.
Yep.
I'm a fan of the process, you know, I'm a fan of the sport, but I want to know how it all comes together. How does this fashion just start?
Oh, well, I'm about to show you.
Okay.
I'll take you on the journey.
Let's do it.
Follow me.
Okay, so this is the foundation.
Yep. What we have is 2 different collections we make for NASCAR every year. You know, we have the NASCAR fan jackets, which is like, you know, your top 10 drivers. And then we have what we're gonna focus on today is our fashion collections. So as we know, those in the fashion world don't really care much for the driver, they care about the sponsor. Millennials, Gen X, Gen Z, they all love it.
Of course.
So over here.
You're even teaching me something. I didn't know that they were separated. I didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
So
there are a couple drivers that overlap. Kyle Busch, which is all M&Ms, #1 seller. That overlaps. Then, of course, our vintage drivers, the legends, you know, Dale Sr. and Jeff Gordon.
Absolutely.
These guys for sure overlap between the fan and the fashion world. So basically how I create my fashion collections each year is these are all fire suits that the drivers are wearing in this year. And then I'll kind of see what sponsors go best with today's day and age, with this year. We go from this to this. To the finished product.
Finisher.
You wanna try it on?
Finish him. Absolutely. Just because I like these colors and thinking about all the kicks I have.
Yep.
2 hands, 2 hands, 2 hands. The busyness got me.
Yeah.
I love all the chaos going on because that's kind of how I am. I'm a little chaotic, but still, you know, fit.
Clean but chaotic.
Yeah.
And we've kept this same system for 35 years.
Wow.
Yep, we haven't
If it
changed
ain't broke,
a thing. Don't fix it. Exactly.
Driver fashion, you know, the garage, it changes constantly.
race car drivers absolutely should be fashion icons.
Look at the boys today. They kind of give that very, like, cool, I'm not trying too hard, but I am kind of look. Like, you know what I mean?
And let's not forget, they kind of were in the 70s and 80s.
When we first started, you just jumped in the race car and you ran, and when it was over, you went home with the same clothes on. Tore britches and stuff. That's the style now.
And all, like, the bold prints, I'm like, oh, I get what you're doing. I know what you're doing.
When you see Kurt Busch in that Jordan car, I like it, I want it, and I'm gonna wear it.
What could be cooler than Jumpman at the track?
Dale Earnhardt Sr. with gargoyles, the leather jackets.
And if you can rock those, then you are very stylish. Or I should say a hashtag, badass.
When Jeff Gordon first came, he tried to grow a mustache, tried to look a little bit older than 12-year-old. He wanted to look at least 15. Style and all that stuff. It's just completely changed. But, you know, the whole world has changed. NASCAR's changed with it.
NASCAR drivers dress the same when they're at the track. You know, branded from head to toe, polos, khakis, fire suits, hats. So how do they inject their own style into the uniformity? How do they break through the homogeny? I'll tell you, shoes. And that's why I got my man here, Michael J. Adams, AKA Michael J. Kicks. He's done over 300 customized pair for professional athletes, and I just want to know, with all the NASCAR drivers out there, so many different styles, what's some of the craziest styles you've done?
We've done, as far as driver shoes, I did a pair of watermelon shoes for Ross Chastain. Justin Allgaier's got great shoe style. We did kind of some more subtle things with his JA logo on there. Dale Earnhardt Jr. The Hall of Fame pair was a really, really special pair for me to do. The chrome and the Hall of Fame logos, and the 3 for Dale Sr.
I can't help but to ask, if I may, can I see something live? Can I feel it?
Absolutely, man. Why don't I take you inside and I'll show you where and how.
I'm welcome in the house.
Let's go, man.
Let's get it. So what's the most popular color requested, I guess, from the NASCAR drivers?
I think variations of gray, and then adding their pops, because a lot of the NASCAR drivers like something a little more subtle, other than, say, Noah Gragson. If it's bright and crazy, and as I say, it's something I wouldn't wear, Noah would.
I love wearing bright colored shoes, Nike Dunks. I'm pretty into that right now. This pair of shoes I got right now, they're, I don't know what model they are, but they got fur on them. Probably not the most popular thing, but I like them. Michael J. Kicks. He's done 3 pairs for me now, and all of them have been different. He puts his own twist to them. Really creative, really talented, and it's pretty neat to see his work come into the garage.
So this is a really special pair for Noah Gragson, and there's a few things that go into this. I'll show you.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes,
you ready?
sir.
Okay. So this is a special one I'm taking to him at the track.
Wow.
Kind of looks a little muted, right? And like I said, Noah's a pretty flashy guy, but let me take you outside and show you something with this pair.
You're up to something.
All right, man, you ready for these?
Let's do it.
Here we go.
Wow. It's a whole different shoe.
Whole different shoe. We got the 9 for Noah Gragson.
And it's coming to life right before my eyes.
Absolutely.
This is amazing. How?
So I use a special UV activated paint so that when it hits the sun, it changes. Subtle inside and patriotic outside.
I love the color change. I feel special you showed me these first. I love them. So I know Noah's gonna love them.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
All right.
Good to see you.
Long time no see.
With a present, wanna go inside?
Yeah, let's check it out. What's in the box?
Let's cruise inside. New pair for you.
Really?
Yeah, let's do this thing.
I get like the jitters when I see these things for the first time. Like I don't know what they are. It's a good surprise. Let's see. These are cool. Hell yeah. Got the stars and stripes, the 9 on them. They're subtle, but then they pop at the same time when you look at them close. I'm gonna put them on right now. I love them, man.
Let's go outside. I'll show you something.
Yeah, I like them. They're cool. So, whoa. Are they changing color? Whoa. I've never seen anything like that where it's heat activated or UV.
They're UV sensitive, so when the light hits it, obviously they change colors. So
that's the coolest thing ever, watching them change and transition. That's so badass to me.
Awesome, man.
That's sick.
Stoked you like him.
It's badass. He's a man.
Do your thing.
Hey, you feel good, you look good.
Absolutely.
You play good, and you get paid good, baby.
Making custom gear and custom shoes for the sport, I think that speaks to what's to come.
There's this wave of popularity in motorsport right now. It's created a landscape where creativity works and is rewarded.
Oh, I love that. I would say today is the golden age of NASCAR fashion.
There's FaZe Clan, there's the backpack brand Spray Ground, there's a streetwear designer, Eric Emanuel. All of those partnerships and collabs are so important because it's that extra cosign to say, this speaks to my brand, this speaks to my customer, this speaks to my community.
It's just this whole NASCAR groundswell that is pulling on the fashion, the culture, and a little bit of the history too.
Whether it's a runway halfway across the world, a factory, workshop, or a clothing store in your hometown, NASCAR style is here to stay.
A long journey. From clean-cut, working-class heroes to modern-day fashion icons. NASCAR is leading the way. From vintage to Vogue.